In this session of Professional Practices course, we are going to solve problems on residential building estimation and quantity workout by long wall, short wall method, that is PWD method, and Centerline method. Myself, R.V. Zubdar, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. This is two-room building having the following details of foundation and superstructure. Estimate the quantity of following items of two-room building given in figure. Earthwork in excavation in foundation trench, lime concrete in foundation, first class brickwork in 1:6 cement mortar in foundation and plinth, 2.5 cm thick DPC in proportion 1:2:4 with waterproofing compound. First class brick work in cement mortar for superstructure using centerline method and long wall short wall method. The plan shows the room having sizes into in 4 meter by 3 meter. The room is having door, one is externally provided and one is in partition wall. There are two number of windows. The foundation details are given as the foundation or footing is made up of 4 steps. The first step is having width of 0.9 meter, second step having width of 0.6 meter, third step having width of 0.5 meters, and fourth step having width of 0.4 meters. All the steps having depth of 0.3 meters, and last step having depth of 0.6 meters. The superstructure wall is having width of 0.3 meters and floor to floor height of 3.5 meters. By centerline method, this problem can be solved as follows. Using the data given, we have to first find out centerline length of the total building. For finding out centerline length, we have to use the formula, that is A is equal to 6.3. 6.3 is the addition of width of two rooms plus 0.3 thickness of partition wall plus 1/2 width of item from both sides, that is 1/2 of 0.30 plus 1/2 of 0.30. The total center to center length of building horizontally is 6.6 meter. The center to center length of wall B or in longitudinal lateral direction can be calculated by 4 plus half width of wall from both sides, which will give 4 plus half width of 0.30 and half of 0.30, which gives the total length of 4.30. Now there are two long walls, that is walls in direction of A in X direction, and three short walls that are in direction Y. The total centerline length can be calculated by addition of these three lengths, that is 6.6 plus 6.6 plus 4.3 plus 4.3 plus 4.3. The total centerline length of a building is equal to 26.1 meters. The net centerline length of building is equal to total center length minus half the number of junctions into width of junction. After finding out the total length of center line, now find out the quantity of various items which are used in construction. The first item for finding out quantities earthwork in excavation in foundation trench or footing trench. The net centerline length is equal to total centerline length minus half the number of junction into width of junction. That is, the number of junction or item width is zero point 0.9 in the case of excavation. Therefore, the net centerline length is equal to 26.1 minus half into 2 times zero point 0.9, that is item width, which is equal to 25.2 meters. The total quantity of earthwork can be calculated by multiplying length, breadth, and height, which is equal to 25.2 into zero point 0.9 into zero point 0.9. The total quantity of earthwork in excavation is equal to 20.414. The depth of excavation is the addition of three steps of footing, that is zero point 0.3, zero point 0.3, zero point 0.3. Therefore, the depth of excavation is 0.9. The lime concrete in foundation. The net centerline length for concreting of lime in foundation, it is calculated by 26.1 minus half width of zero point 0.9 twice. The total centerline length is same as for excavation, which is equal to 25.2 meters. Total quantity of earthwork is the multiplication of all dimensions, that is length, breadth, and height. It is equal to 25.2, 0.9, and the thickness of lime concrete is 0.3. The total quantity of lime concrete in footing is 6.804 meter cubes. First class brickwork in 1:6 cement mortar in foundation and plinth can be calculated by the net centerline length is equal to total centerline length minus half the number of junction into width of junction. Here the width of item is 0.6. The total net centerline length is 25.5 in case of 60 centimeter layer. In case of 50 centimeter layer, the total centerline length is 25.6, and for third step, that is 40 centimeter layer, the centerline length is 25.7. The brickwork for the first step having 60 centimeter layer is 25.5 into 0.6 into zero point 0.3, which is equal to 4.59 meter cube. The brickwork for 50 centimeter layer is equal to 25.6 into zero point 0.5 into zero point 0.3, that is width and depth of footing, which gives quantity of 3.84 meter cube. Brickwork for third step having 40 centimeter width, the quantity can be calculated by multiplying 25.7 into zero point 0.4 into 0.57, which gives 5.91 meter cube. The total quantity of brickwork in footing is equal to summation of all these three quantities. The total quantity of brickwork in footing is equal to 4.59 plus 3.84 plus 5.911, which is equal to 14.341 meter cubes. The next item for foundation or footing is 2.5 centimeter thick DPC in proportion 1:2:4 with waterproofing compound. The net centerline length is calculated by deduction of half width of item from both sides. It is equal to 26.1 minus half into 2 times 0.4, which is equal to 25.7 meters. The total quantity of DPC work is equal to length into breadth, which is equal to 25.7 into zero point 0.4, which is equal to 10.28 meter cubes meter squares. Now next item for calculation is first class brick work in cement mortar for superstructure. Since the floor to floor height of superstructure is 3.5 meters, the net center line length is equal to 26.1 minus half into 2 into zero point 0.3, that is equal to 25.8. Therefore, total centerline length or net centerline length for superstructure is equal to 25.8. The total quantity of first class brickwork is equal to length into breadth into height, that is equal to 25.8 into zero point 0.3 into 3.5, that is floor to floor height of walls. The total quantity of brickwork in a superstructure is equal to 27.09 meter cubes. Now entering all these calculation in measurement sheet. The first description of item is earthwork in excavation. By adding all this length, breadth and height of the item in the measurement sheet, we will put the quantities and total quantities in the chart in tabular form. The earthwork in excavation is 20.412, lime concrete in foundation is 6.804, brickwork quantity below ground level having quantity of 14.341 cubic meters, DPC course having 10.28 square meter, the first class brick in superstructure having quantity of 27.09 cubic meters. The deduction for doors and windows are shown in this measurement sheet. There are two number of doors having sizes 1.2 meter by 2.1 meter. The deduction for two number of doors have to do for superstructure brickwork. It is D1 description item. Number of doors are 2 and the length of item is 1.2, breadth is 0.3 and height is 2.1. The total quantity of brickwork to be deducted for door placement is 1.512 meter cubes. For two number of windows, similarly, the multiplication of width, length and breadth, that is 1.2 into 0.3 into 1.2, gives total quantity of deduction 0.864 meter cubes. Therefore, the total volume to be deducted from superstructure wall is minus 2.376 cubic meters. Therefore, the total quantity of brickwork in superstructure is the deduction of volume of brickwork and deductions, which is equal to 24.34354 cubic meters. Now this problem is solved by using centerline method. The centerline method is speedy method as compared to long wall short wall method, but this method is useful in the cases where there is a simple plan or there are no more junctions in this planning. Now in further lecture or further slide we will discuss about the same problem by long wall and short wall method or PWD method. Thank you.